The Pharaoh's at the end of the board and train, and he's done great. He can do sit, down, whoa, here, heel, kennel. He can retrieve. He can pick up my reading glasses. He's awesome. His separation anxiety, which is huge, that's a killer. It kills dogs. 20% of all dogs that are given up have it. It's deadly. It's deadly. He had it real bad. He had it real bad. It was very ingrained. Bella had it, but lots of dogs that I work with have it. You know, there's a percentage that come here, they have it. But him, he was pretty bad. But it's in remission now as of, you know, a couple days. He's been doing great, and we got it all figured out. And I explained to him that it's better this way. It's better this way. Isn't that right, baby man? He's awesome. One thing else that we taught Pharaoh to do, there's probably some stuff that I left out, but we also taught him the weave pulls. And he's not the best at it, but I think he can do it. So let's see if the baby man can do the weave pulls. None of the dogs have to be doing it real fast. They don't have to be Billy the Hedgehog or Tonka. They don't have to do that. They just have to go through it. That's it. Let's see if he'll do it. You ready, baby man? You think you're gonna do it? Come on, buddy. Here. Here, come here, Hang on. Okay, weave. Here, no, here. Weave. Here. Weave. Here. Weave. Here. Here. Weave. Here. Weave. Here. That was fucking awesome, dude. You did it. You did it. That was very good. He did it. Good job, baby man. You're done, dude. Here, let's see if you'll do it again. Come on. Come on, Pharaoh, do it again. Come on, buddy. Come on, little Pharaoh. Come on over here, buddy. Here. Pharaoh, here, heel. Okay, take your pee, brother. He likes to pee. Come on, Pharaoh, heel. Come on. No, here. Heel. Pharaoh, weave. No. No, Pharaoh. Weave. Here. Weave. Here. Weave. Here. Weave. Here. Weave. Here. Weave. You're freaking awesome, man. Good job, buddy. You're good. He's good all the way around. It's a little baby man. Look at him. So much better without separation anxiety. Listen, that separation anxiety, when I say it's a killer, it is. It's definitely a killer. You don't go to the vet for this. They can't help you. What they're going to do, they feel helpless. They're going to prescribe human drugs for your dog. They're going to prescribe SSRIs. It doesn't get rid of it. Takes a little edge off, but it's still there. What you need to do is you need to find a competent dog trainer. And if you find out that doing a board and train is too much, you're a piece of shit. You shouldn't even own the dog. Why would you put the dog on medication when you can spend money, have your dog do a board and train, get rid of the separation anxiety? So you just make the choice of just like, well, that's too much. That stinks. That stinks. It's too much of a hassle. It's not cost effective for you. It's easier just to have somebody prescribe Prozac. They're nothing like us. You understand this? That they're nothing like us. It's like they're really physical. They don't, you know, they're not cerebral. They're not thinking. They're not a thinking animal. We're the animal that ponders thought. They don't function like us. They respond, and they respond instinctually and with trained commands. And if your dog is responding negatively with separation anxiety, that can be trained out. But you have to start telling the dog no. Don't contact the dog trainer that uses purely positive methods. You need somebody that can indicate a negative to the dog. It's a huge part of it. He is on an e-collar. Did I use it when we were doing the weave pulls? The very first time when he went too far out.
Here, no, here, weave.
I nicked it. It's on 3. It's lower than a human can even feel it. It's on 3. It was just enough to tell him, no, don't do that. Okay? What's the problem? You do have a separation anxiety dog. Find somebody that will train your dog not to be be like that. It's terrible to watch. It's terrible. If you want to contact a veterinarian because your dog has behavioral issues, you're making the wrong call. You're wasting your money. You just don't want to spend the money for the board and train. It's easy. That's the problem with our societies. Everybody goes for what's easiest. Well, I'll put them on drugs and it'll be sort of better. Oh, I'll put the thunder shirt on them and it'll sort of look like the dog's not as freaked out. Those things are a waste. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit in the pet industry that is just a ripoff. Citronella collars, those are a joke. They spray on your dog and then, you know, your dog's habituated to the smell. It's just the thunder shirt. There's a whole list of shit. The baby man, he's better now. He is. You think I'm joking? This guy had it terrible.
So, having lived Atkins for years, he also is someone who's an expert on shakes. Trust me, these are awesome. Loads of protein, lower in net carbs, and no added sugar.
Once there was an organism so small, no one thought much of it.
We got him a little bit better when he came in, and then just recently we just threw it into remission. But there's no way, without training, I could get the dog to be the way that he is now. He had to have training. You can't just like be like, I'm gonna call a dog trainer and they're gonna come over and fix the separation anxiety. If somebody's telling you that that's how it's gonna happen, you're gonna get ripped off. His mom got ripped off before she called me. She did, she totally got ripped off. This guy said he was gonna make the dog more confident. He didn't do shit for the dog. He couldn't even make the dog sit. Several dog trainers work with this dog, okay? Several. And he couldn't sit. He did 30 days with this idiot in Brooklyn. He couldn't sit. And then his mom's like contacting me. I'm like, yeah, I'll make your dog, you know, I'll make him sit, you know? And that's sort of the approach you take. No, you have to sit, baby man, little Pharaoh. It's absurd. Watch out who you're talking to. If you have behavioral issues, contacting the vet might not be the best idea. Contacting somebody that says that they're a behavioralist, that could be anybody. I could call myself that. Contacting somebody that is a behavioralist with a degree, that could go real wrong. That could go real bad. I'm telling you, it's not how you think it is. And the American public has sold this garbage, the purely positive dog training, and you know, you have a problem, they'll tell you to put the dog down. That we can't help the dog. Oh yeah, you can help the dog, but you help it through training. You help it through training. It's so easy. Well, it's not easy. I take that back. It's not easy. But that's the solution. You have a separation anxiety dog? Training. Every behavioral issue that you have, the solution to your problem is training, other than if it's genetic. If you have a dog that's has a predisposition for something, you're not going to be able to change that super aggressive dog. You can get them trained, but it still might always be a time bomb, because what if somebody comes up and pets it? But that is a good point too. That the dog that is at heel, that's super aggressive, and knows heel implicitly, unless somebody reaches their hand in there, there's no problems. That's just how it is. Every behavioral issue that you have can be not fixed at the fucking vet. You call a competent dog trainer. You don't call a purely positive food trainer, you call a balanced trainer. You don't call a dog whisperer, you call a balanced trainer. And if you can find a balanced trainer like me that doesn't use food as positive reinforcement, I use everything else that the dog likes. Petting, good boy. My voice, toys. The act of retrieving, he likes it. That's positive reinforcement. That's who you should look for. There's a handful of us out there, but there's trainers too that are balanced trainers like myself that use food, but just use a minuscule amount and then they stop. J.D. Woofter, he's like that. He doesn't have the fanny pack on all the time. He gets the dog going in a certain direction and then he stops. If you're in Portland, Oregon, you know, Robert Masters, he uses no food. Sherry Lucas, she's a friend of mine too. She's out there in California. She doesn't use food. I have a list of people that don't use food as primary positive reinforcement, but it's a short list compared to everybody else. Everybody uses food, and it really is not a positive thing for the dog. You don't need it, number one. And food is tied into the dog's survival. It makes you look like a resource for snacks. And if you use people food like the food trainers tell you to do, like hot dogs aren't healthy for a human. They aren't. So you use people food to train the dog, or you just use food in general to train the dog. When you're eating and the dog's sitting there, it's like in a catatonic state. It's looking at the plate. It can't even function. That's the point. That's the point. You understand? You train with food, it's counterproductive. It's not necessary. Anytime food's involved, they're looking at the food. They're not looking for direction. This guy's fucking awesome. He is. He can do the weave. He's not great at the weave pulls. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, baby man. It doesn't. You know why? Because it's separate. Oh, that's another thing he had. It was leash reactive. He was leash reactive, right? Real bad, real bad. That wasn't the problem. I was like, as soon as, yeah, so what? I'll get rid of that for you. But the separation anxiety dog, it is a problem. It wasn't easy. It took all this time to get him to the point where, like, I can articulate, no, you cannot do this anymore. You cannot circle the cage. Leash reactivity, that's fucking nothing. You know, do a board and train with somebody, they'll get rid of that for you. But if you go back to your old ways, you know, the dog will go back to being a dick. And that's the same thing that's true with separation anxiety. But you know, anybody that spends money, this is a fact. Anybody that spends money on a board and train, they look at it as an investment in their dog. His mom isn't gonna like throw it out the window. She's gonna keep up with everything. She's leaving the house, he needs to be in a crate. If your dog has separation anxiety and it's not in a crate, why? Why is it not in a crate? You know, all dogs should have a crate. It doesn't matter if they have separation anxiety or they don't have separation anxiety. It's the truth. That keeps them from getting it. That stops a lot of bad issues, you know? Crate the dog. You might have a 10 or 11-year-old dog, but you still have a crate in the house. The door might be open. It's their safe spot. They like it. They end up liking it. Don't be like, oh, look, my dog doesn't like the crate. It's like jail. They're not like you. They don't think it's jail. They think of it like more or less it's a den.